Good morning. It is the 3rd of May, 2023, Wednesday. My son's birthday's in 2 days, so yeah, it'd be a good birthday for him. I am tickled to death today, not only because it's May and it's getting that kind of hard heat, that hard deep south heat, if you will, but because this is, got something to show you today. And this is my 4th game book, and it is Friday Night at Fallujah, a D66 war game book by Brent, Campbell. And I am tickled to death with it. I'm tickled to death with how it turned out. You know, and I'm going to show it off a little today. And maybe you can go pick it up. $6.50 on Amazon. It won't break the bank. It's about 65, 70 pages, something like that. How many pages is it? 62 pages. But contained within that is, and Friday Night at Fallujah, it's not necessarily at Fallujah. I was wanting to make a fun game. And this is just a fun modern warfare game where it's you against the world. Right? So it's experimental. Right? Okay? It is experimental. As all my books are, I experiment with things. So they're not for everybody. I fully understand that. But at $6.50, it's just about in everybody's price range. But yeah, it's kind of experimental. And we're going to end up doing some playthroughs of it. And we're just going to look at today. And there's some acknowledgments I wrote. The rules, introduction. Okay, that's fun. The rules, all the rules you need to play the game are there. I've thought about it a lot, and it took me a long time to make this. I didn't just pump it out. I've a lot of reasons. One is Sam Latham did my cover, by the way, and she did a excellent job, beautiful job. But one of the reasons is I'm working and so on. But another reason is that I wanted to make sure all the rules are there. But here's the thing: rules writing is not my cup of tea, and it's kind of hard to get the rules on the paper as they are in your head. It just is. I was a very good report writer. I'm a very good report writer. So you would think it would translate well to rules writing. And come to find out, it doesn't translate as well as one would think. But it is what it is. The rules are there. And that's why I'm going to do a couple of playthroughs and to look at it, right? And but the game, what you're starting out as, I kind of did if you remember Dave Morris in a game book, one of his early game, maybe his first game book, I don't know, Crypt of the Vampire, I believe it was named. It was the one where you're not given a name. And so this, you don't have a name in it. Even the situation, you're just thrown into the situation. At the beginning, you're in in kind of a, you've been in a firefight, if you will. You're in a building. You don't really know what's going on. You're addled. Your ears are ringing. You've obviously concussed. And it's just you and an injured NCO by the name of Sergeant Lewis, we're going to call him. And you've got to keep Sergeant Lewis alive and keep yourself alive till your relief comes, right? That's the whole point of it. But I wanted to do something that would spark people's imagination, hopefully. So a game would be playing in your head more so than on paper or in a book even, right? So that was the point of this. All my game books, I try to do something like that. Like this one here. This one. I sold a couple of these yesterday for just out of the blue. I do sell these. A lot of people like them. They're $5 holdout. And the reason this game book is important to me, it was my first. But it's also, it was experimental in the sense I used the D66 system as I did in this one, which was popularized by Adam Mitchell, who I always give credit to for helping me, not only helping me, but encouraging me and guiding me along in how to make these game books. He's been a big help to me. His advice is always appreciated. But this one here, it was about Japanese soldiers after World War II continuing the war when they didn't know the war is over. I thought that's an important thing that we don't really game. So that was really the experimental part of that. Then it was Brownwater Navy. That's another D66 game book. What I wanted to do here was to take the rules away. I wanted to make the rules a part of the game. Now, I think I did do that somewhat, but I failed somewhat in that too, to where you making, as rules get more complicated, to get harder just to give you that. But I thought I did an okay job with that, and I think it's a good book. And then with my third game book, Return Address Cat Low, I wanted, once again, it's a letter writing book. It's not a D66 book. It's a letter writing game book. And what I wanted to do here, I was really wanting to simulate letter writing as it was done within military contexts. For however many years we've done that, and it's been important. Even still today, care packages from home are still important. So, yeah, letter writing is an important part of a serviceman or woman is life, right? And so that is a big thing. Although now we have email and cell phones and all this other stuff, instead of waiting for a sat phone and so on, like we did back in the day. But still, care packages and still something tangible from home will always be important. So that was the experimental part of that. All these are available on Amazon, by the way. And this one, the experimental part, was I was wanting to spark imagination. I think sometimes, even myself, as war gamers, we want to just see it all. We want to know how many miles a hex is, and we want to be able to make our best laid plans and so on. So I want to do something different. I wanted to make this a game of the mind, more so a theater of the mind, more than just a function of rules, right? But like I said, the rules, they're all there. It's just right here. Well, let's go. Let's. First of all, we're going to set up a game, right? How are we going to set up a game? You're going to grab a piece of paper and a pencil. I've grabbed a pen here, but I would recommend a pencil. But as I even wrote in the rules, it's okay to have a pen. And you're going to make your, and there's things you're going to have to keep track of. You're going to have 4 grenades. That's right. We're going to shorten that to grenade. That's grenade. You have 4 of those. You're not going to be replenished on grenades. So as you go through them, you're going to have to mark them off. These are, and first thing you're going to do is figure out how long of a game it's going to be. You can have it 6 different types. A 5-turn game, a 10-turn game, and it have different, right? So you can roll a D6 right there, but or you can just pick. I'm going to pick it's a 5-turn game, right? All righty. So we're going to keep track of the turns here, right? It's going to be your turns. You're going to have 4 grenades. It's going to be a short game. If we was going to play a 20-turn or more game, a 20 to 30-turn game, we would worry about ammunition in your M4, but you're not going to worry about that now, okay? And then we're going to have to worry about Sergeant Lewis, right? Sergeant Lewis, where are the rules for Sergeant Lewis? Once every 5 turns, in between turn 1 and turn 5, or turns 5 or turn 6 and turn 10, or turn 11 and 16, whatever, you're going to have to check on him once every 5 turns, or he may pass away and you will have negative consequences for that. So you want to keep him alive. And special combat and tower. That's the neatest thing about this. We're going to use a Jenga tower. We're going to get that. I'll show you how that works too. You will need a Jenga tower, 2 6-sided dice, a piece of paper, and pen. Right? That's what you need to play the game. What else do I see here? Sergeant Lewis. Checking on Sergeant Lewis. There's the rule for it. You know that when you check on Sergeant Lewis, you're just going to have to not worry about the enemies that turn. And whatever consequences you get for not facing the enemy, you're going to have to use you're going to have to take so you can check on Sergeant Lewis. Well, so we're only going to have to check on him once in a 5-turn game. And we may get a good turn that not much happens, and we can do that, right? And then like I said, we'll keep track of our turns, grenades, Sergeant Lewis. And over here, we're going to keep track of our combat. And down here, we're going to have to keep track of how are we going to call it, insurgents that got in. We're going to put insurgents in, and then I'll explain that later. But that's basically how you want to fill out a sheet, something like that. You can do it better, whatever, but something like that. And this, we're going to, and we'll play this in the next few days. Play a few turns of it, may play a game of it. But I just wanted to show you. I just want to show it off right now. This isn't a review. I will review it. Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. And the rules are probably lacking. Unless you're a savant of my stuff, the rules will be lacking. But I do think it's the best game I've made so far. Best game book I've made so far, by far. And but again, it is what it is. And I will play it some more here later, and I'll review it at the end. Okay? Well, that's all I got for you today. I got a lot of stuff to do today. But I said it's a good day. I'm very excited about this. And thank you for anybody who's ever bought one of my books before. I appreciate it greatly. Your patronage is always appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon. Be careful out there. Be good. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.